Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
On Instacart, I can shop a huge selection of pet supplies, from that one brush that scratches him just right, to that extra comfy bed he can't wait to flop down in. And I get everything delivered right to my door in as fast as 1 hour. Okay, settle down. I know it's here. Yes, very exciting. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get a free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
Hi, this is Matt and Amanda with Deep Woods Paranormal. Today we are going back to the future. We're actually going to go back over...
to the past, babe. We're going back to the past.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, wrong
Love
thing.
that movie too much.
Yeah, good movie. Anyways, we're going to be talking about our past explorations. We're going to talk about a trip where... literally a trip where...
you have the giggles today.
Yeah, where we basically toured the United States, and we essentially were out looking for said to be haunted places. We didn't have any gear at the time. This is, 20 years ago. And we basically were just wanting to stay in places that were said to be haunted or experience something.
Long ago, babe. It wasn't 20. It was more like 15.
Okay, that's what happens when you have a wife. She corrects you. So I'm just giving her a hard time. Anyways, she's awesome. I love my wife. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of our experiences at some of the places we went to. I mean, we stopped in Tombstone, Arizona. We didn't have any experiences there. At the hotel we stayed at that was supposed to be haunted. We stopped in Texas and a few other places that were said to be haunted. We got to Louisiana, and as we pulled in, there was just a crazy storm going on.
Not just Louisiana. It was the place where everybody talks about ghosts.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah. We pulled across the border, and we basically caught up to the storm that had just hit Texas. And we had just stopped in Texas and camped in the Texas-Louisiana border. And we were literally, I don't know how far away from the swamp. It wasn't more than 3 or 4 feet. They gave us a campground, and we could see the eye shine from the alligators and stuff, which was an experience.
That was the first time I saw a red-faced duck. I don't know what they're called, but they look like alligator ducks.
Yeah. So, anyways, we were like literally feet from the edge of the swamp.
It was so hot.
Oh my God! It was. I think they said it was 100 degrees, and it was 100% humidity, so I felt like it was about 120 degrees.
Your clothes just stuck to you.
Right.
It was so bad.
Essentially, we got like zero sleep that night.
That was not New Orleans, by the way. That was in Texas.
Well, that was the Texas-Louisiana border, like I was saying. My bright idea, let's camp across the U.S. and we'll stop in different places that are said to be haunted and whatever else. We weren't really into anything besides ghosts at that time. So, long story short, we're exhausted. We pull into New Orleans, and we thought that we'd stop and find a cool place that might be haunted or whatever. Couldn't find any hotels open, not one. And so we were about to give up and continue on with our trip, and I pull around the corner, and there's this beautiful brand new hotel, middle of downtown, and I'm like, okay, well,
it's
let me
on
go.
Bourbon Street.
Yeah. So I said, hey, let me just go check here, and maybe they have an opening, and they were completely empty, which is weird. So I said, hey, I just need a room for the night, blah, blah, blah. Got upstairs, beautiful room.
It was a Friday, too, was the weekend.
So it was a beautiful room. I guess there was some kind of convention or something going on in town. And so first thing we did was we kind of just dumped our crap, and, we were we hadn't really taken a shower, so
we had a valet. We didn't dump our crap. They took it upstairs for us.
I meant in the room. We just dumped everything, wherever it went.
I'm just saying.
That's cool. So basically, we just put our stuff down, and the first thing we wanted to do was grab a shower. So I took a shower first. I closed the door, and I took a real hot shower, and the window, of course, fogged up as usual, steamed up. And as I'm taking a shower, I went to grab a towel or a washcloth or something, and I look up, and above on the top of the mirror, there's these numbers, and they just kept repeating. I'm like, what is that? So I just kind of remembered them. In fact, I think after I got out of the shower, I wrote them down. I said, hey, Mandy, go check out that. And she saw them too.
The numbers were like behind the steam of the mirror.
Right. It wasn't like somebody had taken their finger and gone up there while the steam was going on and like put the numbers across. It was like, I don't even know how it would be possible. It's like somebody had taken their finger and done it, but with nothing dripped or ran. The condensation didn't run or anything, which was very strange. Also, when I was in the shower, I'm like, damn, it smelled like cigar smoke, or not cigar smoke, not the kind you normally consider to be, the nice kind of cigar smoke. It smelled like something was burning. I thought it was cigarettes. I thought somebody was just smoking in the next room or something like that.
Now, keep in mind, we asked for a non-smoking room. They told us they put us on a non-smoking floor.
Right. They said the hotel was non-smoking, although people still do smoke in different rooms.
This was 15 years ago.
Right. So also we came to find out that there was nobody in the rooms next to us. So
at least not when we arrived.
Right. And the people downstairs when we checked out the next morning, we'll get into that in a minute, all said the same thing. Hey, nobody's allowed to smoke in the hotel. So long story short, we after those two experiences, we kind of shook it off. So this is important. So when we came in, we had just bought a new laptop, and this is an old IBM laptop. It's like an inch thick or something like that. It's huge. Got it from a pawn store. Had this battery on the side. I was trying to charge the laptop up, and it was kind of charging a little bit in the car. We had one of the plug-ins that you can plug a normal plug-in into. We had one of those adapters. And we're trying to charge it up, but I wanted to get this battery out, so I was doing everything I could. I was using anything I could do to get this thing out. It wouldn't come out. I couldn't get it out no matter what I did.
It needed to be screwed out. It had like a little screw.
It had a lip, and then there was a screw down below where you had to unscrew it to basically take that lip off and pull the battery out. Otherwise, it wouldn't come out. So anyways, we left that. I'm pretty sure we left that on the table. We left some food and our sunglasses on the side table on Amanda's side, which she sleeps on the right side. And then we left our bags and like our little jewelry case. She has a little square, I would say it was 8 inches tall by maybe 3 or 4 inches wide.
The thing we need to say is what the room looked like. So when you walked into the room, to the left of the wall, there was like a TV credenza, like old school. It had like a cabinet where it opens, and then to the right there was a king size bed. On each side of the king size bed there were little side tables, and then beyond that there was like a little sitting area, and then that overlooked Bourbon Street. So the little sitting area was little 2 chairs and a table, and then the bathroom was right when you walked in, of course, on the right.
Yeah, so essentially we had set our stuff down in a specific way. We knew exactly where we set everything and stuff like that. There was some food. We brought some food up because we thought we might eat before we went out. So we went downstairs.
There was also a connecting door to the left, which I checked and made sure was locked because I have like a paranoid thing about it. So I made sure that was locked when we left as well.
Okay, so after we did all that, we went downstairs, and they had a concierge, which was cool. So we're talking to the concierge, and we're asking him questions, and they said, well, we've got a ghost tour. So we're like, cool, we want to go on the ghost tour. And they're like, okay, it's about an hour from now. We'll go grab something to eat, and then, go on the ghost tour. So we did. We went out on the ghost tour, and we had a great time. Good guide and everything. We didn't experience anything, but...
Well, it was mostly... Okay, it was at 10 o'clock at night, so it was dark, but it was mostly about voodoo and the voodoo priestess and where she lived, and stories about her, and so we took a lot of pictures of the old antebellum homes, and they had a really cool like metalwork and that kind of thing, but nothing came up on the camera, like, because we reviewed it because we had a digital camera then, and we didn't see anything, didn't feel anything, but it was a good tour because the guide was fun and he had a lot of information about the area.
Right. So we did the ghost tour. We came back, and it was like 10 or so o'clock.
Well, we walked through Bourbon Street first, and there were so many people. I've been to New York and everywhere, but so many people on Bourbon Street, and they're right next to you. They get into your personal space. I'm not about that. So instead of staying out on Bourbon Street, we decided to go back to the hotel. And I like to people watch. So we went to the hotel's bar, but it wasn't open, which was weird because it was a Friday night. Which that is weird that it wasn't open. But anyway, we sat at the window looking out on Bourbon Street watching people go by for a while.
Yeah, so she finally said, okay, let's go up to the room. I said, okay, so we got to the room. I grabbed the key out, and as I kind of went to
it
put
was a card.
Okay, I meant whatever. Anyways, so I went to use the card and put the thing in the door, and as I touched the door, I think we both kind of looked at each other and was like, wait a minute.
We stopped. We stopped at the door and opened it and looked at each other.
It was just this weird feeling like something was wrong.
It felt like ominous, like someone's been in the room. And I even walked, like right when we were walking in, I was like, someone's been in the room.
Yeah. So we started looking around, and I looked down, and like I talked about the laptop before and her little jewelry case and stuff like that. All of that literally was, not only was the laptop stacked straight up and down,
but it was on the other side of the king-size bed, in between the king-size bed and the little sitting area. Right. On the floor.
So the battery, which I couldn't get out, I tried all day. I used a screwdriver, I used a fork, I used all kinds of different things. I used a pair of tweezers. I tried to get this thing out all day. It was pulled out, literally pulled out of the laptop. The laptop was stacked, basically up on end. Then I think it was her jewelry case was like, all the stuff's in a row, was sitting in front of, next to that.
Yeah, in a straight row.
Right. The battery. And then our sunglasses, which I know were up on the
side table.
Side table, right. And the food had been moved from the table to the side table.
The sitting area table.
Right. So it was just like shock.
There was like, because it wasn't just one pair of sunglasses. It was my sunglasses too.
Right.
So it was
2 pairs.
The IBM laptop, the IBM laptop battery, my jewelry case, the 2 pairs of sunglasses, and the food was moved. So someone or something's been in the room. So the first thing that I did is, of course, check the door to the other room, the one that goes into the other room, the adjoining door, that was locked from the inside. And then I opened the jewelry case because I foolishly I carried lots of jewelry because we were gone for a long time. So that was a lot of money in jewelry that I had with me. It was full of jewelry. None of it was missing. And then we went through every other thing in our bags. Nothing was missing. Just things were moved.
Moved, exactly.
And so I did have a cell phone at that time. And I was like, Matt, you need to go down and tell them someone's been in the room. Like, at this point, someone's been in the room. Someone's messing with me. I actually went over. There was this thing on the wall. I thought maybe it was a camera. I thought we were on that show. What was that old show that people...
Caught on camera
or...
Something where they mess with you.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But there was that investigation camera where people would mess with you, and then I think Ashton Kutcher did it. I don't know. Anyways, and so Matt goes down to talk to the management. Meanwhile, I get on the cell phone and talk to my mom, and I was like, either someone was in our room or there's a ghost in this room. And Matt, what did you tell the management?
So when I went down and told the management, I said, hey, has anybody been in a room? I said, I understand you guys know that all you guys know that we're in a ghost, and then we went down on a ghost tour, and I'm all for getting pranked, and he's looking at me with his mouth just wide open, and he's like, sir, nobody went in your room. We would not enter your room unless there was an emergency or you had called us to come up and help you with something. I said, are you guys sure you didn't go into our room? He's like, yeah. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to get you in trouble. I'm not going to tell anybody. We're not going to do anything, to get you guys fired or anything like that. Just tell me the truth. He's like, no, we haven't. And when he came up, he's like, he came back up with me. He's looking around. He's like, is anything missing? Has anything, he looked at the door jamb. He looked to make sure that none of his employees had been in the room. And they're like, no, we haven't been in here. We haven't touched anything.
He offered us, when he came up, I was already off the phone with my mom, and he offered us to move rooms. Well, I didn't want to move rooms because we've been gone for like a month, and we've been camping, and I was exhausted, and then I had a huge luggage. Of course, they probably would have moved it for us, but I was just over it because it was already midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was.
I was over it. I was like, I'm not gonna move. I'm just nothing's missing. It is what it is. We'll put the lock on the door, like the privacy lock or whatever, and then I moved like a chair in front of the adjoining door. Even though it was locked from the inside, I just did it anyway.
Yeah, and after she calmed down, I turned the TV on for a little while. I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was all wound up. I couldn't go to sleep.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, and she went to sleep pretty quick. And I finally, around 2 a.m. or so, I turned the TV off and was almost asleep when all the damn lights in the room came on. And it was blinding. I was like, oh, God. I said, I made the mistake of saying out loud, I'm not getting up to turn that off. And I think it was probably like a minute or two later, all the lights finally went back off.
I slept through that.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know what time. I think it was like 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what time it was.
Yeah, 3 or 4 hours later, all of a sudden, I thought we were having an earthquake. The whole room shook.
Not the whole.
Well, I felt like the room shook at first, and then I'm looking around. It was a bed.
The bed shook, and that woke me up.
Yeah, the mattress almost literally jumped. It jumped every which way.
It wasn't like an earthquake. It was like someone was sitting on the end of the bed and pushing it back and forth.
Yeah. And that bed actually was attached to the floor. It was actually a built-in bed. And
the headboard was screwed to the wall.
Yeah, the mattress it's one of those ones where they put a frame around and then attach it to the floor, attach it to the wall, and then put the mattress, insert the mattress in, and then basically sleep on top of that. And we checked. It was a wooden frame.
Yeah, we checked afterwards. And so we were sitting there and we're like, oh my God. And then we hear a woman giggle and she's giggling like that. And so I thought next door, there was someone next door that was, how do I say this on this thing? Getting busy.
Doing their business, yeah.
And that's why we were shaking. So I just went back to bed. Okay, whatever.
So she sends me, she's like, you got to go next door and see if...
No, not until the next day.
It was the next day. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Between then, the TV turned on. You didn't say the TV turned on.
I didn't
because it's somewhere in between there, and I can't remember if it was before or after, the TV turned on to the channel where it just was
white
like
noise.
The poltergeist from the Poltergeist movie.
Yeah.
And then it turned itself off. And again, I rationalize it thinking that maybe Matt's late on the remote or something.
Yeah.
But then I started adding things up in the morning because then I had some sleep and, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense because the door was locked and the bed was shaking and I heard someone next door open the door and close it. So Matt had come out of the shower, and I was like, babe, you gotta go next door. You have to go, and you have to ask them if they're messing with us. He didn't want to do it. And I was like, listen, we need to know what's really happening here, because if they're messing with us, then it is what it is. Like, maybe they're bored, and, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. So Matt actually went over because I pestered him enough. What happened when he went over?
Yeah, well, I was pretty shy at that point. I wasn't as outgoing as I am now. But I walked over there, and I'm sure I was bright red. I knocked on the door. I said, I don't know how to ask this. We're your neighbors. And I said, I don't want to bother you. I know it's like 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is. And Amanda and I hadn't got much sleep that night because of all the craziness that happened. And I didn't tell him that. But I said, I didn't know how to say it. I said, were you guys messing around? Were you guys, kind of doing your thing? And they looked at me and smiled. They started laughing. She's like, no, we just got here a few minutes ago. And I looked over, and she had done kind of the same thing as Amanda. She had put her luggage up against the adjoining door because I think she had the same fear as Amanda. And she said, we just got here like 5 minutes ago. We just literally just checked in. And so they're like, what's going on? And I told them the story. They're like, oh. So I went back over and I told Amanda, and she's like, oh, okay, we're leaving right now.
Well, yeah, because at that point, it couldn't be anything but a ghost. Like, what the hell? It has to be a ghost. Doesn't make any sense. The other thing is that the manager, what Matt didn't tell you, is the manager checked the computer system to see if the key card was used by anybody but us, and it hadn't been.
Yeah.
So
it gets better. So essentially, well, I also forgot to mention that when I was in the shower, I also kept smelling like a sweet smell, like an old perfume or
I smelled it too.
Kind of something that just didn't seem right.
Well, I thought that thing on the wall, where I work, we have those automatically the spritzers of the potpourri, like in the bathrooms, and I thought that's what that thing on the wall was. So I just thought it was the hotel with automatic potpourri spritzers.
Yeah, and this is back before they had Wi-Fi and all that stuff. Like I said, this is a long time ago.
No, did they have Wi-Fi?
No, they did not have Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi didn't come out until like 10 years ago.
Oh, I had a cell phone though.
You had a cell phone, yeah. That's back when the cell phone bill was like $3 a minute or some crazy number like that. That was just used for emergencies.
Okay.
Anyway, so we packed up. We're going downstairs to check out, and we're telling the young lady at the counter what's going on, and all of a sudden,
no. I told her the whole story because I walked down there and literally told her that room is haunted. I was like, that room is haunted, and this is why.
Well, the girl that was checking us out was like, oh, okay, all right. But the girl that was walking by, I think she was manager or something like that.
She was behind her.
Yeah, she was behind her. And she heard what we were saying, and she stops, and she just turns white as a ghost.
And her eyes got really big.
She's like, oh, well, you didn't know this. This hotel's brand new. They just built this like a year ago.
Or they remodeled it.
No, they had just built it because it had burned down.
Okay.
She said, oh, well, this place used to be an old opera house. And she said that there was a fire, hint, hint, smoke smell, and a lot of the people, there was like 15 people that died in the fire, and one of them was the opera star, and
of the opera house.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
that was a woman,
right? So I'm thinking, okay, the sweet smell, okay, that makes sense. The fire smell, the smoke smell, that makes sense. So we start telling her about the weird numbers up on the mirror, and she goes, "Oh my God, excuse my language. Oh my gosh, that used to be the old address to this location. They changed
to the opera house.
To the opera house. They changed the number when they built this place a couple years ago." And we were just like, I think everybody's jaw was on the floor when she said that. And so everything just started to make sense. Somebody just wanted our attention, and when we weren't paying attention, they kept pushing until they got our attention, and basically we left. But if I had known now what I knew then, we would have, we probably would
have stayed.
Yeah, we would have stayed. Right, exactly.
That was the thing is that was pre-Katrina. Okay, so I don't even know. We haven't been back since, so I don't know if that hotel is still there. I want to say it was the Ramada, maybe. It
was an expensive hotel.
I don't
remember. Beautiful hotel,
I do know
brand
that was
new.
on Bourbon Street because when you walked out, boom, there was a sign, Bourbon Street.
Right, and it looked like a lot of the employees were brand new. That's probably why the bar wasn't open. I don't think they had enough employees.
I don't know. It was, now that I think about it, it was super weird because the streets were so packed.
Right.
But when we went into the bar, there wasn't a bartender, and it was like 11. No, should have been open. I don't know why it wasn't.
Well, we got back at like 9:30. We went to bed around 10:30 or so.
I swear it was 11.
But yeah, I mean, by the time we got in bed, it's probably 11. And so, anyways, listen to a married couple bicker back and forth.
Let's do that.
That's what you get when you get a couple that runs a paranormal team. Anyways, guys, this audio is getting a little bit long, so we're going to cut this off. But we want to thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. And again, thank you for helping us out and continually giving us your support and stuff. So
make sure you follow us on YouTube as well.
Yeah, this video will be over on YouTube. Our shows are over on YouTube as well. We have full-length shows where we go like we did the Normandy last week. That'll be coming out soon here in the next 3 or 4 days. And I'll tell you what, that place finally lived up to expectations. We had some crazy things happening there.
Yeah, wait until you see it.
But, oh my goodness. Anyways, all right, guys, thank you so much again for listening to our podcast. Please check out all the links below this podcast. They'll take you to our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, and all that other stuff. And you guys can watch the content of everything there. So thank you guys again. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino.
That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes.
ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.